Hello, my divine ones, and welcome back to my channel. I don't like saying that. I always do that. I don't know why. It feels like copy paste YouTube. My name is Goddess Divine, and today we're going to be talking about Saturn and Pisces. In Western astrology, Saturn and Pisces is in Aries, but in Vedic and Sidereal astrology, Saturn and Pisces is Saturn is in Pisces. So you may feel a little wanting to escape, low energy maybe. You might not feel like you can do all the things that you wanted to do. Spring has sprung, but for the next 3-ish years, it's going to feel kind of very watery. So it's the perfect time to get in tune with who you are. It's the perfect time to figure out what you need for comfort, what your devotions are. And I mean devotions, not in terms of like religion, but what do you want to feel devoted to? Start with yourself. Okay. What will make you feel, I'm gonna say bonita. What will make you feel beautiful in terms of what lights you up? Be it art, food, allowing yourself pleasure as well, because so many of us shun away from pleasure because we have to be logical, we have to be very disciplined. Balancing out those things is what we are going to be working on, and also being patient with yourself, because you are a human. Okay, wherever you are in your process, in your journey, I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Okay, you deserve rest. And I know this is easier said than done, but please, 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 try your best to rest. I be having to remind myself too. And rest doesn't always mean sleep. Sometimes it means watching TV. Oh my goodness, I feel so lazy when I lay down and I don't do anything. It's okay. It's okay. If you have to get up and move your body to feel like you've done something, it's okay. But trying to make yourself work, especially right now, if you don't have the energy, maybe get something to eat, maybe have some tea or some coffee, do something else, and then if you have that mental energy or physical energy, then you can go do. Okay? Please don't try to force it. Trust me. Trust me. It will do you better long term to allow yourself to go with the flow of whatever is going on with you in life. Okay? Is that all I wanted to say? I think so for now. So, I have my notes in my book. I love this book. If you want to know where I got it from, I think I could post links in the description. My channel is still a baby, so I don't know what they will and won't allow me to post. So, we'll see. I got it on Amazon, and I'll put the name of the publisher right here. But okay. So a big theme for Saturn and Venus and Pisces will be relationships. Logically. Not solely emotionally, not solely what we want. Because, some people want marriage. Some people want long-term relationships. Friendships even. Some people want those to feel safe within the relationships. However, realistically, how are your relationships? Realistically. Let me sit up. How are your relationships? Take a step back. Take off those, what do they call? I'm going to call them not rose colored glasses. I'm going to call them peach. We're going to say peach colored glasses. Take off those peach colored glasses and look at your relationships. Have people been overstepping your boundaries? Have people been sneak dissing you? Have people been really weird with their energy? And I don't mean weird like, oh, they used to call you every day, but something's going on, or they're going through something and they're pulling back. That's different, I mean, in the sense of when you brought up certain issues, people may have a little snarkiness with how they respond, or maybe you bring up something you're dealing with and they respond in a way that's like, any of that, like, am I tripping? Any of that. Um, what else? What else? What else? What do you want out of your relationships? I had to be real with myself. And that's not easy. I realized that I do want deep relationships. And I used to say, I don't care about that. I don't need that. What? No. Like, what? Me? What I really was saying to myself is, I don't want fake relationships. I don't want what the spiritual community calls karmic relationships, where you started off. You all saw that, right? I said karmic relationships, and it said that happens a lot. Lights flicker whenever I say certain specific words. But karmic relationships, like if you start off in a certain mindset, suppose you were very insecure and you allow certain people, unfortunately, to feed you bullshit, to feed you and give you energy, or maybe less than what you deserve. You let people run you ragged, and at a time when you didn't know, you probably didn't realize that this isn't what I want. I want more than that. I want more than half as lukewarm relationships. I want deeper connections. I had to realize I want deeper connections. I need deeper connections. I'm a Scorpio. And being real with myself is realizing and accepting that I want those relationships. I realize this is going to get on my nerves. I'm going to have to fix this after I finish recording this video, because I put it on wrong. I made this jewelry, by the way. I love it. And this is just the base of it, but I made all my jewelry. What was I saying? Oh yeah, a lot of signs. For example, in Western astrology, I'm a Sagittarius. In Vedic astrology, I am a Scorpio. I'm Anuradha Sun and Jeshtra Moon. Butchered that. But I am a Scorpio in Vedic astrology, and I realized that I was a Sagittarius in the worst way when I wasn't being real with myself about my own boundaries and what I wanted, my own desires, and befriending people that, you're going to hear noise in the background. My roommate is working. Well, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but when I felt like I needed to be everybody's savior, when I felt like I needed to teach all of my friends, when I befriended people that I was like, oh, they need my help. Ugh. But we learn. Now I want friends who are that reciprocity. We can learn from each other. They're not always coming to me for advice. I can also come to them for advice. You know, I want those deeper relationships, but I also realize that I have to reach out to people. And if you know a Sagittarius personally, you know sometimes we don't. But for the people who have already shown me that if I reach out to you, you have no problem reaching out to me, just as long as that is going back and forth. It'll be balanced, knowing who I can build those relationships with. And I say build because you can't expect anything from people. And people can leave whenever they want to. But I still have a desire to try to build those relationships. I had to be honest with myself, you know. Also had to be honest with myself and looking at some of the new relationships that I started as well as the old ones, and be like, do these relationships align with who I am? Or do they still align with who I used to be? Am I rolling my eyes when I have phone conversations with my friends? And am I okay with that? I started to not be okay with that. in new relationships, I'd ask myself, what's off? What could I be doing? What kind of conversations can I have with them about not solely expectations, but maybe expectations, or maybe just desires. Like, I would like to get to know you better, or even just extending a little bit more. What's the word? I can't think of the word right now, but like going a little deeper in terms of friendships. You know, I open up a little bit more, you open up a little bit more. And sometimes you may get hurt. You might get hurt, honey. That's a part of relationships. You risk that. You risk that. So you also have to figure out how much of yourself are you willing to give, and in what time frame. I used to give too much of myself too fast. You know, I used to, but not only give too much of myself too fast, but I wasn't aware of how people were viewing me in the little ways that they were plotting on me. Anuradha in Vedic astrology is represented by the deer, the doe, very doe-eyed, doe-eyed, bushy-tailed. I was very naive, thought I knew everything. And I didn't realize that some people would see me and they would be like, ooh, I see something in her. I see that energy in her and I want it. How do I get it? And some of them would completely transform like a wolf. They would transform into the person that I needed them to be. And while sometimes I needed that, sometimes I did. Sometimes it benefited me and it helped me feel safe. But the moment that they realized that I wasn't willing to completely contort and transform myself to be what they needed me to be, mind you, what they needed me to be, because that could be at any level. Not how much of myself I could give to them from where I was, but what they needed me to be. Sometimes that could be for some people turning yourself into a completely different person to be what they need you to be, and that might not be a good thing. That might not be a good thing for your sanity, because what they need you to be is their mama. And if you can relate to that, put what are we gonna put down in the comment section? Put I ain't your mama in the comment section. Sometimes people want you to quit, and I had to be like, I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to do that, because that would drain too much of myself. That would drain way too much of myself. I used to do that though. So they used to expect it. I used to do that. So they used to expect it. But the moment I started to say, I ain't doing that no more. I'm not willing to risk my energy and use my energy in that way anymore. Especially when it had been 5, 10, 15 years since I knew these people. Why are our relationships not growing? Our relationships need to grow together. And sometimes we grow apart, and we need to allow that to happen. But if our relationships are not growing in this direction, and it's either here or it's going downward, we may need to start to reflect and think realistically about where our relationships are going. Do we need to have certain conversations with our loved ones about what we feel like we're getting or what we're not getting? Do we need to have these conversations with ourselves? And be real with ourselves about what we want and what we are allowing. Because sometimes we allow certain things just to keep people around, knowing damn well we ain't alright with it. And before you know it, you're drained and you're exhausted trying to figure out why these cycles keep repeating. You are a victim. I look at it this way. You are a victim of other people's actions until you know what you don't like. Close my vent. Okay. I just realized sometimes you can hear the vent, the air, heat when I record because the vent is right up underneath of me. I'm going to say that one more time, honey. One more time, child. Okay? You are a victim of other people's actions until you know what you don't like. Until you know for a fact that didn't sit right with me. Then once you acknowledge, and I feel like that's what the Bible was talking about. What scripture was that? I have a Bible over there. I just don't feel like getting it. Let's look that up. Because it talks about like straddling the fence and all the other crap. But I don't feel like it was actually talking about like religious things. I feel like it was talking about what we accept in our life. What we allow to continue to happen in our life. And I'm not talking about the situations where people, you're financially dependent on people. I mean even kind of that. Because how bad do you want to be that, unless you seriously can't do anything, how bad do you want to be that, how bad are you comfortable? I mean, how bad do you want to stay in that comfort? And is it really okay, battery cut off. I mean, not battery, a memory card ran out. How bad do you want to stay in that comfort? And is it actually comfort? Or is it just something that you're used to? And you were told, or you expect your life to continue to go this way? Let's see, Bible verse. Please don't let your eyes glaze over, because the Bible is code. It is not to be taken literally. About I definitely. 1 Kings 18 verse 21. How long will you waver between two opinions? And if the Lord is God, follow him. But if Saul is God, follow him. Oh, Baal. If Baal is God, follow him. 1 Kings 18 verse 21. I believe that it talks about, in a sense, practicing what you preach. Like if you know something doesn't feel good within you, if you know the way somebody treats you doesn't feel good, being real with yourself and being honest. I don't give a fuck if you my best friend. I don't give a damn if you my mama. Especially, I'll talk more about teenagers becoming independent. There will be more teenagers becoming independent over the next few years. I don't care if you are my mama. I don't care if you're my daddy. I don't care if you are some type of authority figure to me. Do I like how you're treating me? How does it make me feel? And am I okay with allowing this to continue to go on? This whole thing is about relationships I'm talking about. No matter what they are, romantic or otherwise. There are a lot more women who are looking at their relationships with men and they like, you thought I would actually rather much be single until the person that is supposed to come into my life comes into my life. I will continue to devote myself, to the things that bring me joy, to the things that bring me happiness, to things that bring me laughter, that bring me happy tears, maybe even some sad cleansing tears, to creating jewelry, because I feel like little me, I used to love making jewelry when I was a kid, and I'm doing that now because it just made me happy, because I'm over here, like, even though it's frustrating trying to get used to using these pliers again, because I used to use these when I was in high school. I went to a a technical school, and so I used these during electric wiring, but trying to use them, and they're much smaller with these tiny little hooks. I was dropping beads and shit was flying all over the place. Even in that frustration, I was still having fun. There's a difference between a draining frustration and a fun frustration, like okay, let me try this one more time, and you're having a good time with it. Sometimes you can have fun in your own home, but who's in your home with you? And it doesn't have to just be home. Who's in your environment? Is your environment healthy? Is your environment feeding you, or is it draining you? Environment could be anything. Friends, family, romantic relationships, co-workers, work environment, maybe your job or what you're doing online. Is it feeding you or is it draining you? It's time to be real, because we've been lying to ourselves for survival for too long. It's time to thrive. It's time to thrive, honey. It's time to thrive. And in order for us to thrive, we have to be honest with ourselves about what we want, what we don't want, our desires. We have to be real about our relationships. We have to be honest with ourselves about, am I bullshit? Am I? Is there something that I could be focusing my energy on, that I could be devoting myself to outside of a person? The only people who should be devoting themselves are parents. The only people who should be devoting themselves to another person are subs, if you know, you know, and parents to their children. And I mean children. Like, I mean children. If you are a teenager, if you are a grown adult, should not be devoting yourself. If you are, I'm talking to the feminine. Let's specify that. I'm talking about feminine energy here. You should not be devoting yourself to anyone. Damn sure not a man. Devote yourself to yourself first. Okay? And the love will come out. And the love will come in. Once you get out of people pleasing. Coming from somebody who used to be I convinced myself to be a people pleaser. I was never actually a people pleaser. In fact, even as a child, people couldn't stand me because I wouldn't people please for them. I convinced myself to be a people pleaser out of survival. And the more bitches. I'm back to what would Janae Aiko say? I'm back up on my bullshit. I have got to stop yapping and not taking sips of water. I be doing that. Drink your water. Some of us people please just to keep people around. Security. And Saturn in Pisces is showing us what's starting to dwindle. What's starting to drift away. Drift water. I've been saying go with the flow and be like water for the last few years, because it's okay if you feel resistance. It's okay if you're like, because that's natural. You're human. You're going to feel frustration. But sometimes you have to feel frustration in order to grow. Sometimes you have to feel like you want to break out of a box in order to realize what you're not happy with. You deserve to be satisfied in your life. You deserve satisfaction. You deserve pleasure. You deserve to be happy. And sometimes in order to be happy, you may have to be miserable in the sense of getting rid of those relationships that no longer bring you happiness and pleasure and satisfaction. And people assume pleasure automatically equals SCX. Not always. Pleasure can mean enjoyable moments. Pleasure can mean fun moments. Pleasure can mean silly moments, even a silly conversation on the phone. You know, it can mean if you like to run errands with your friends and your loved ones, that. Sometimes sitting in silence, that we may do a lot of that. Realizing that sometimes you just need another person sitting next to you or on the phone with you. Just their presence may be calming. You know, you may need more support even without words. You may need an escape with someone without even really doing anything. It's funny that Saturn's in Pisces, and I had quite a few Pisces friends. Pisces love me. They love me because I'm so spontaneous. If you know, what's that, Happy Feet? I'm so bringing up Happy Feet and I'm talking about Pisces. Pisces rules feet. That's funny. I'm so spontaneous and Pisces love me. Pisces has to work on being just a little bit grounded. And Pisces also taught me that it's okay to escape sometimes. But where is your direction when you're escaping? Are you escaping into more bad relationships? Are you escaping your reality and going and dating people that you know are beneath you, that are less than what you actually want, just so you can enjoy something for some time? The time to do that is over. That was fine 2020 through 2023 and 2024, because 2024 with my ass, but in the best way, like, because I could see why things were happening. However, are we keeping certain relationships around or starting new relationships that are notches below what we actually want, just to keep our attention from focusing on ourselves? You deserve devotion towards yourself. You deserve to be devoted to yourself. Because the more you are devoted to yourself, I've repeated myself now, the more you're devoted to yourself, the more you realize what you desire, the more you accept what you desire. And you start to look around at other people that are less than that and aren't willing to, can't be that, or they're not willing to be that for their own reasons. And you're like, I might enjoy your company, but if something don't shift, if something don't change, you gotta go. Bye, boo. Miss one, next 15, one coming. 8 billion people on this planet, honey. 8 billion. And there are a lot of people going through the same journey that you're going through. There are a lot of people who already been through the same journey that you've been through. Trauma is thinking that you have to take a ride with unhealed people in order to find your loved ones. Trauma is feeling like you have to fix people. Trauma is feeling like a result of trauma is searching for the worst people mentally. Hell, maybe even physically. And then being like, when they show you how fucked they are mentally and physically. That's trauma. We're shedding that. I just dry brushed last night, and I exfoliated with my exfoliating gloves today. We're shedding old crap. Okay? We're shedding old crap. And we are moisturizing. I'm very tactile. Like, I'm very hands-on. If you know anything about me, I learn very hands-on, and I am very like, let me reach for something for a good, I love me a good old example. And I've been a lot less like example bound verbally and more so hands-on now. So if I pop up with some finger puppets, just roll with it. Just go with it, okay? We are stepping into our new era of, I deserve better. I deserve better. Everyone deserves better. But I see some people who are going to be like, I deserve better. And I'm like, I mean, as a human, you may deserve better. But do you, as you are, in this current state, do you honestly deserve better than what you've been given? How are you as a person? How are you as a person? Are you trying to force your ways on the people? That's what I used to do. I used to try to force my ways on the people. Or are you showing yourself as an example to people? Are you people pleasing and expecting reciprocity regardless of whether or not that person can actually give it to you? Because not everybody can give you reciprocity. Some people emotionally are just not there yet. I had to learn that the hard way. This Sabaya, little Sabaya. Oh, it smells so good, but this is no longer little Sabaya. This is my own blend. This is what I call my whole blend. I put my whole blend in this. So if you want it, let me know. But little Sabaya is what the actual smell is. If you want that, it smells so good. Oh my god, it's my most complimented smell. I have to get some more of that. But some people please. Not, for example, I have to bring it up because it's a good example. Virgo rules service. Virgo rules being of service to other people. And it's so funny, all of the Virgos that I've known, I grew up with Virgos, and I've dated Virgos. And for some examples, Virgos came into my life to teach me something, and there were a few examples where I came into a Virgo's life to teach them something, and they all fought service. Because when you hear it, it sounds like, it doesn't sound that good. It's like, oh, when people say, oh, you're supposed to be a servant to other people. It's like, what? No, your gifts lie in being of service to people because you pay attention to those details when it comes to other people. You can see if something's off with people, and you might be able to be a healer to the right people, not to people that you feel are distant, or people that may remind you of your mother, because Virgos tend to have mommy issues. Scorpios too, so I'm not throwing shade. I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from experience, honey. You may need to stop trying to mold the right people in your life and show up as the right person. Know what you want, know where your gifts are, and have healthy boundaries for yourself. I'm not overextending myself for everybody. I don't care how long we've known each other. If you ask me to help you move, and this is the 15th time, honey, you're going to have to pay me now. That sounded like, I don't know if y'all could hear that. It was loud as hell. They watching something, but that really sounded like, what is his name? I love him. Don't ever wonder. You know, a woman's worth and a woman's worth. Yeah. What's his name? I know it. It'll come to me later. He got his face in my head. I think they watching a movie or something downstairs. But stop molding people into being exactly who you want them to be. Have healthy boundaries with yourself. Oh yeah, that's where I was going. I knew somebody that always was helping their friends move because of the history that they had. And so these friends, they were still there for them, but they started to prioritize their partner over their friends. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it was in a way that was starting to be disrespectful. Like, for example, their partner would be moving, right? Or they would be moving. And they would say, oh yeah, it's just, our stuff. The person would show up and it would be the couple stuff, the mother stuff, and whoever else was in the house. And I'm like, I would be like, that's not what we talked about. That's not what we agreed upon. Second strike, the person was there and showed up with their other friend. And the friend and the friend's family, whose stuff this was expecting the friends to move their crap without them helping. And I was like, and you didn't move their stuff, right? Because when they talked to you, you were supposed to only be helping move their stuff. Because I think the girlfriend at the time was pregnant, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Somebody was pregnant, I think. So, of course, yeah, hell yeah, I'm going to help you. I didn't say I was going to help all of these people with all of their shit and all their heavy stuff. No, you actually help move all of their... Did you want to do that? The smile was because it's like, you weren't. Did you let it be known? And sometimes we have to accept that sometimes we do things that we aren't actually okay with. But we also have to be gentle with ourselves, because sometimes you can slip back into those people pleasing ways because of your trauma. But that's why it's okay to learn lessons. But we have to be real about what it is that we want out of our relationships, and not accept less and not overgive, because we're moving into a time where our energy is too precious. It's too precious. And we don't want to brew resentment. We don't want to brew like hatred, secret hatred for each other. We don't. Oh, and it's gonna be way worse. People are going to not be being real with themselves, and they're not going to be real with their family members and their friends about what it is that they want and don't want, and what they won't allow. And I don't mean in a sense of, I'll go into that later. People are going to start taking out their frustrations on strangers. More car accidents, more road rage. Saturn and Aries, Saturn and Pisces, that watery part. More drugs. People are going to, Pisces rules over drugs. Because of escapism, hallucination, and being delulu and la la land. You know, is that Neptune? Yeah. When I be ranting, when I be talking, sometimes I be forgetting. It's alright. That's that otherworldly, that type of thing. So it's gonna be more people, but on the flip side, it's gonna also be more people that are gonna be like, I'm not satisfied with the drugs or the alcohol that I used to do, or the overindulging in the food anymore. I want more. This no longer fills me up. These conquests and lukewarm relationships and sexual connections and stuff where there is no connection, it just doesn't do anything. It's not giving what it used to give, and honey, that's growth. That's growth. Now, being without may be a little hard, but sometimes you have to go without in order to realize what you want and what you don't want. And you'll start to shift naturally, and shift who you are naturally to align with what it is that you do want. Just stop fighting. God, I tell myself, girl, stop fighting. You know you don't want this. You know you want more of that. I realize I'm a lover girl. I love love. I love love. I'm fucking Scorpio. Of course I love love. Like, Anuradha is devotion to relationships. I love love. I kick my feet and be giggling when I be watching TV. Like Abbott Elementary healed my heart chakra. Ooh, thumbnail. Hold on. Oh, it healed my heart chakra. Just seeing two people naturally, even in all their awkwardness, just get together. And even if it would have taken seasons, I wouldn't have cared about that. Just watching the process of people falling in love, I just like, I love it. It's so cute. It's so adorable. It's so pure. It's just, I love everything about it. So I had to be real that I enjoy relationships. But what I don't enjoy are draining relationships. I don't enjoy crossing my own boundaries just to have people in my life. I don't enjoy... I had to go from being bothered and not wanting people to be upset at me to, baby, I don't give a fuck if you mad at me. You crossed the boundary. And I'm going to keep my boundary to myself by not allowing you to get away with that. Or I didn't like what you did, so I had to bring it up. And if you're not showing any changed behavior over time, you gotta go. I don't care what you're going through. what you going through and how you're treating me, two different things. If you can't treat me kindly while you're going through something, you're not for me. I'm gonna have to back away. Now you may come back and realize, you know, I was wrong, but it depends on how far you went. You know, if it's something slight, or you done caught more than one attitude with me and it ain't nothing to do with me, you projecting, I'll let you come back. But if you completely disrespected me, I had to redirect my energy of being a Sagittarius, because in Western astrology I'm a Sagittarius, in Sidereal astrology I'm a Scorpio, and redirect that energy into the people that deserved it. Granted, whenever I was a Sagittarius, the people at the time did deserve it. I just wasn't aware of it. I wasn't aware of the ways that they deserve it until I stepped back from it. They absolutely fucking deserved it. And I also had to stop worrying about being the bad guy. In the words of Nicki Minaj, you wanted a bad guy, I'll give you a bad guy. Because some people absolutely deserve it. Oh my God, I don't do anything to people because I believe in karma. Well, honey, I am the karma sometimes. Sometimes you got to be the karma. I am their karma. Or I'll choose peace and just back away into the bushes. I'm so extra. Oh, she turned over. This is the necklace I made. It's a little pearl. Oh, it ain't gonna focus. Oh, yeah, it focus. It's a little pearl to go with my pearl earrings that I made. I love them so much. I'm so proud of me. Okay. I think I'm done rambling on about the relationship aspects of Venus and Saturn and Pisces. It's some things will naturally flow, right? And the more you devote yourself to yourself, that's heart. The more you devote yourself to your heart and what warms you up, like a warm bowl of soup or a warm cup of tea, and what allows you to radiate that from the inside out to people around you, the more that'll bring it in. And you might be tested, what people call tests. That doesn't mean you stop attracting ain't shit motherfuckers, but the red flags start to go up very quickly. You start to recognize them real quick, and you might be like, did you just try me? And you might be a little unsure, just a little bit, you know, especially if you're still dealing with that people pleasing and not wanting to be a bad person or being mean. You might have to be like, and sit back and actually reflect on it. But once you do, especially if they do it again, because be coming in threes, honey, sometimes. Don't let it get past two. That second time you feel like, sometimes it might feel like it might feel like a slap in the face. You're right. You're right. You are right. Okay? You're right. They tried you. You are right. They tried you. You're not tripping. You're not tripping. They're testing the waters to see how much they could push you and how much you're willing to take. You're not tripping. I promise you're not. So you have to trust your instinct with that and either have a conversation with them, or if they're really new, you don't really owe them anything. You don't. No. When you're disrespected, you owe people nothing. You owe yourself everything. Fifth element. Accept is love. Accept it. When you're disrespected, you owe the person who disrespected you nothing. You owe yourself everything. Okay? Be patient with yourself, honey. Especially if you've been a especially if you've been a people pleaser. You have to be patient with yourself. Sometimes you will allow people to get you fucked up a few times before you can stand firm on your boundaries. It's okay. If you need to cry right now, you may feel very cry it out. That cleansingness is it's gonna feel good. Okay? Maybe submerge yourself in water, shower or a bath, or maybe hell. I grew up without a shower. Well, for 16 years I didn't have a shower. Get cup water, pour it over your head, same thing. Or maybe even a bowl. It's very cleansing. If you need to cry while you're in the bath, cry while you're in the shower. If you need to just play some rain music, that can be cleansing too. You know, and think about what it is that you desire, what it is that you want, what kind of pleasures you want out of your relationships. And be real and honest with yourself, because you do deserve to have them. And just because you meet people that may not immediately align with what that is, if they are on the right vibe, if you feel aligned or you feel like you connect to them, y'all can go on that journey together. They don't always have to match up perfectly. Sometimes you could teach them something. Sometimes they could teach you something, you could teach them something, and y'all can go on that journey together. Beautiful. Okay? I'm proud of you no matter what stage you're at. I'm very proud of you. Okay? You got this. Alright? Just devote yourself to yourself and you'll be fine. Okay? Build those beautiful relationships and tell them negative relationships are the ones where the people try you to kick rocks. Hell, if they're new and they tried you, block. Don't say nothing. But I just drink some water, go take a bath or a shower, and relax. I love you. Until next time, get off my phone.